Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you Everton news 24/7 for the 16th of January. So let's get straight into it with today's headline, and it comes from Matt Law, and he reports that former Chelsea, Fulham, and Arsenal winger Willian has been offered to Everton, amongst a host of other Premier League clubs. This one, again, has come out of the blue completely. That seems to be the case with a lot of Everton transfer stories this window. But we asked for your thoughts about Willian on an X poll. And of around 1,400 votes, 45% of you are in favour, 15% with you were unsure, and 40% against. So it's a pretty big split about Willian. And obviously, following up to this, the Echo this afternoon have reported that this talks and the Willian links have largely been driven by his agent, and it's obviously unclear at the moment if Everton will act and make a move for the 36-year-old Brazilian. Obviously, he's a free agent. Most recently been at Fulham in the Premier League, so he does have that experience to play in the Premier League. My opinion on it. I think there's probably better options out there, in my opinion. Obviously, I know it's a free transfer and we have to take what we can get at the moment due to our FFP stance and where we are with certain amounts of wiggle room with financial fair play and how much money we can spend this window. But, in my opinion, there's probably better options out there. He'll command a big fee, he'll want a big wage. So, yeah, I'm kind of unsure on this one. Obviously, there is a player in there. There's a decent technical player. We know he can score goals. He scored goals at this level for many years. So, if we could try and unlock that from Willian, that would be obviously positive. But whether he's still at the required ability and because he is 36 now, that does remain to be seen. But other incomings have been reported by Matt Law this afternoon, and he reports that we're interested in Ben Chilwell or Carney Chukwuemeka from Chelsea on a loan deal, but obviously we'd need to free up another loan slot for this. The Ben Chilwell one is interesting because obviously Vitaly Mykolenko has struggled in recent weeks. So we asked your thoughts over on X as well. And, there was an overwhelming majority that wanted to see Ben Chilwell come to the club. 74% were in favour, 11% unsure, and 15% against about Chilwell coming to Everton. I think I'm probably in favour of this one. The only worry for me, obviously, he is a little bit of a sick note. He does have a pretty poor injury record. So if we could try and iron that out and get a decent 6 months out of him on a loan deal, obviously that would be positive. It would give competition for places for Vitaly Mykolenko. But that being said, can we keep him fit? It seems to be another Armando Broja to me. I'd much rather us try and sign Carney Chukwuemeka instead because I think he's got a little bit more to offer than maybe Ben Chilwell. But that does remain to be seen. But I've talked about Armando Broja briefly there, and I wanted to give an update on him as well. Obviously, David Moyes confirmed in his post-match press conference last night after the Aston Villa game that he will be out for 12 weeks. And Andy Hunter reports that Chelsea want Everton to pay the remainder of his contract, the remainder of his wages for the rest of the season to cancel the loan. But Matt Law has also reported that Chelsea aren't anticipating Everton to do this. So again, it just puts us in a difficult position, doesn't it? I think on the face of it, Armando Broja was a great loan sign in the summer by Kevin Thelwell, late on, obviously in the summer transfer window, but it just hasn't materialised into anything positive. And if you're looking at March, April before he's even fit again, there's not really much point of having him at the football club. You may as well pay the rest of his wages and look to try and use that domestic loan slot elsewhere. So I think it's just Everton, isn't it? It's just so Everton to have a player come to us on loan, a player that has had decent spells elsewhere on loan. You look at his Southampton loan, for example, he scored goal pretty consistently there. So if you're comparing it to that, it's an absolute disaster. But fingers crossed a resolution can be found to that. And if we do have to pay the remainder of his wages and maybe just cut ties and get a different domestic loan in, I think we have to put ourselves first and think about that. But elsewhere on incomings, Sky Sports News have reported that Ernest Nuama is still keen on a Premier League move this window. But the report does state that Everton's talks with Nuama and with Leon have obviously delayed a little bit due to the change of manager. Again, we kind of expected this, didn't we? We know what kind of manager David Moyes is in terms of being pretty hands-on with his transfers. He likes to meet the players. He likes to get a good feel for them before he presses the button and brings them to the football club. So we knew that was going to be the case. And obviously with Ernest Nuama, he was probably a Kevin Thelwell signing. It probably is fair to say that. I think he was obviously linked in the summer as well. So I think it's pretty safe to say that it is a Kevin Thelwell signing. And maybe David Moyes just wants to have a proper look at things before pressing the button on that one. But obviously, talks have stalled a little bit, but he's still there. He's still an option. So we'll just have to see how that one materializes in the coming days or the coming weeks. But moving to another incoming, and this one's kind of a little bit of a saga. It's the Tom Cannon saga. I think it was yesterday where it was first reported by both Ben Jacobs and Sammy Mockbell that we were in the race to sign Tom Cannon after the initial reports yesterday. That's kind of been confirmed once again today. The Echo have also confirmed that we do hold a 25% sell-on clause for Tom Cannon after we did sell him to Leicester. So I think it does seem very similar to the Aston Villa Jadon Philogene thing with Hull City in the summer, the way that deal took place. So maybe if he does come back to Everton, we'd be seeing another situation where he comes in for 25% less and then we sell him on for a profit. That could potentially be an option. But we did ask your thoughts over on X about Tom Cannon coming back to the football club, and it was 22% in favour, 22% unsure, and a resounding 56% against his return. Obviously Tom Cannon, he's a youth prospect from Everton. He did come out of the academy at Everton, so if anyone knows him as well as if anyone knows him as a player as well, obviously it's going to be Kevin Thelwell and Everton Football Club. So yeah, I think there's definitely a player in there. We didn't really see it in an Everton shirt. He scored a few goals last season for Leicester while they were in the Championship. So if that's anything to go off, it's a decent link. But can he do it at the top level? That does remain to be seen. Obviously, didn't get in Leicester's team and then went on loan to Stoke City for the first part of this season. So again, I think it does just see how we do just have to see how this one materializes and just see if obviously the Tom Cannon links are true and he does come back to the football club. We'll welcome him back and fingers crossed he can start scoring goals for us. But moving away from the transfer window now, we'll talk about Football Insider's report, and they've reported that Everton are very close to agreeing at £150 million naming rights deal for the new stadium, and that one's pretty much done. We're just waiting on confirmation from the club. Obviously, that's going to be really positive because it'll give us a fresh injection of cash. Maybe not for this window. It won't help us too much, but in the summer, it'll give us much more wiggle room for financial fair play and things like that. So that's absolutely positive news, fantastic news, and fingers crossed we can get the confirmation of that very soon from the football club. But in other news as well, Paddy Boylan has reported that Keith Southern is expected to take charge of the Everton under-18 side. He's expected to take up that role after Baines' promotion to the first team. Obviously, we know David Moyes was probably always going to put Leighton Baines in his coaching staff, but Paddy Boylan there just confirming that Keith Southern will take over from Leighton Baines from that role. And then finally, we're going to focus on the Everton women's transfer window, and they've strengthened a lot in this window already with 4 new players through the door, including today they've confirmed the signing of French international Luna Ribadiera for the remainder of the season from Chelsea. So they seem to be doing a lot of business in the women's transfer window with 4 new players coming in, and hopefully they can kick up the division as well. But that is all for today's news headlines for the 16th of Jan. Let me know your thoughts on the potential incomings, obviously the Tom Cannon saga, but also Ernest Nuama, and then as well Ben Chilwell and Carney Chukwuemeka. What do you think of that? And then also the headline news as well. You might as well talk about Willian in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on that one. That is all from me today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.